Good morning and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Court, brought to you straight from my balcony. Since we are going to be stuck at home for a while, last week I decided to taste test 5 latte recipes that you can make at home using only a few ingredients, and they were taste tested and approved by me. But if you don't like coffee, do not worry, don't press pause, because a few of my lattes, including this one, don't actually include any coffee at all, and they offer some serious health benefits. Not to mention, they're pretty tasty too. So, if you are ready, we're gonna get to the kitchen, get mixing, and get you some latte recipes that you can try at home. Let's go.
All right, guys, so the first latte recipe that I tested out was the iced cinnamon maple latte. We're gonna start with half a cup of water, bring it to a boil, and then you're gonna add your sweetener. The recipe itself calls for half a cup of sugar, but I always like to use natural sweeteners, so I used 2 tablespoons of honey, followed by 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Waited till that was all kind of melted and mixed together, and then I added in 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and a tablespoon of vanilla. Once all the ingredients were in, I probably let it simmer on the stove for about 5 minutes before I pulled it off, just to thicken up a little bit and give it sort of a syrupy texture before I started putting the latte together. And when it's time for everything to come together, you're going to put 1 cup of ice in your latte glass, half a cup of coffee, and then you are going to foam your milk, because it's just always better when you add foamed milk on top. If you don't have a milk frother, you can easily put milk in a mason jar or anything with a secure lid and shake it up for about a minute or 2 until it foams completely. And then it's time to take your syrup, 1 tablespoon, and you're going to add it into your coffee. Top with your frothed milk, and then sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon on top, just for a nice little addition. And then enjoy. I promise you, it's going to be so good that even your dog isn't going to be able to resist. This lavender latte is the perfect nighttime drink, and it's really easy. You boil 1 cup of water on the stovetop with a tablespoon of lavender and a half a teaspoon of vanilla. I let it simmer for about 10 minutes just to really get that lavender flavor, and then I strained it into my cup, added in 3/4 cup of milk, and then topped with a little bit of lavender, but that was only for my Instagram photo. I probably wouldn't recommend drinking it with any dry lavender. It's kind of a pain.
Good morning and welcome to day 3 of 5 days of lattes. Today I'm going to be using my lovely Rocky Top Wine Trail mug to make an iced golden milk latte. Here we go. Okay, so it just took me about 10 minutes to go through my spice cabinet to find the turmeric. So if you have any organizational ideas on spices, please let me know. But turmeric is going to be one of the ingredients here. Not a lot today. Honey or any sweetener, maple syrup, sugar, ground black pepper, ginger, and milk of your choice.
All right, we are heading back to the stove top for our golden milk latte. Here we're going to boil 1/4 cup of water with a teaspoon of ground turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/8 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and a teaspoon of honey with a pinch of black pepper. Here you're going to just make sure that everything is fully dissolved before you then strain it into your glass, and add 1 cup of milk, froth of course if you're like me and you just prefer the look of it, and then top it with a little bit of turmeric spice.
All right guys, we are on day 4. Today is a non-coffee matcha latte. And to be completely honest, it is really hard to find a good matcha latte because matcha itself has such a bitter taste to it. So I use this Your Superpower matcha, and the ingredients in it. It's just organic matcha, organic maca, organic moringa, organic wheatgrass, and organic barley grass powder. So all organic ingredients, no added sugars. The sweetener in this comes from, for me, honey. And I actually use a local honey. It was orange blossom, so it adds kind of a cool flavor to it. But this is actually pretty easy to make. One of the secrets to a good matcha latte is to make sure that you dissolve your matcha first in liquid before adding it to your drink, especially if you're doing it iced.
So here I have a 1/4 cup of boiling water, or it was just boiling when I pulled it out of the microwave. So I'm going to put in my teaspoon of matcha and I'm going to stir vigorously until it is fully dissolved. So it's going to take just a little bit. And then once you notice that it's fully dissolved, you're going to add in your 1 teaspoon of vanilla and then your sweetener. As you know, my sweetener of choice is usually honey. And I did probably about a tablespoon of the orange blossom just to give it a little bit of kick on the flavor side. With a matcha latte, we're actually going to add in the milk first. So over a cup of ice, I'm going to pour 1 cup of milk, and then I'm going to strain the matcha mixture through a strainer into the milk. Now again, this is an extra step. You do not have to do it, but I have a 1/4 cup of foamed milk that I put on top of it just to give it a little bit of a look for the Instagram or the photos. But I actually am going to mix it all together because you want to get the mixture perfectly mixed in order to get all the flavors.
Good morning. Happy Friday. We have made it through 5 days of lattes. I'm celebrating today with an iced salted caramel mocha, which is probably the easiest one I've made all week. In a measuring cup, you are going to put a 1/4 cup of milk of your choice. I, of course, used oat milk, 1/2 cup of coffee, and 2 tablespoons of caramel creamer. Then you're going to put it in a blender, add a teaspoon of chocolate sauce, blend it all up, pour it over ice. And then I did another 1/4 cup of milk foamed, because you know I like my froth on top. Poured that in there, drizzled a little bit more chocolate sauce, and then sprinkled it with sea salt. This definitely tastes like something that you would get at a coffee shop. Very proud of this one. I hope you enjoyed my 5 days of latte recipes. For more videos like this, be sure to subscribe. Leave a comment with which one is your favorite, and if you have any questions, of course, the full recipes are all going to be linked in the description. Have a great day, guys.